unchangeable. Come on. Yep, you're perfect. You thought about me. Come on. Thank you for not squeezing me. I love you. Come on. Thank you, Booba. Very, very thoughtful of you. Very thoughtful. Come on, handsome. Hi, Lando. Oh, do I get a kiss? That's a sweaty kiss from me. I'm a sweaty Betty. You're all scraped up. Lord, what'd you do to your face? Come on. Come on, boys. Well, one boy. Come on. Are we on? Ugh. Or do not bring a sweat rag. All right. Like I said, I am not worried about riding this horse at all. So I'm going to show you above his head and in his blind spot, like I did with JJ in the beginning. I'm going to show you at the mounting block. Thank you, I need that. He needs so much more time with pressure around the pole and not being worried. Why? Because I follow the classical dressage in horsemanship, where you take years to develop the horse. Not that we need years, but the point I'm making is he needs to start to mentally relax in the lunging for him to use his body correctly and to develop his body correctly. So all of this really fancy, escalated, quick, stressed out movement, he sure looks pretty. They do that to Friesians, they do that to Arabians, they do that to saddlebreds, they do that to Lusitanos, any Iberian horse that has that particular high carriage. They're all also pull carts, so they have a high carriage. And they're usually more uphill, and they end up developing these big U-necks because they're always here, because they're trained that way, because they look really beautiful and makes them sell for really top dollar. But they are not using their bodies correctly. Plus, he's all stressed out. I don't want to ride that. So I'll put the time in on the ground to do the proper preparation so that by the time we do ride, it's going to be like with JJ. Look at how great JJ looks when I ride him. Look how much easier it is for me to ask him to relax his top line and follow that feel in his body and feel in my hand. Well, I want him to get that confidence too and trust with me. So we had a couple of breakthroughs this week. You can have some. Nope. Whatever. He didn't give me any backwash, and who cares? As much as I kiss you guys, God knows what I eat. Dirt, bugs, horsey saliva. All right, buddy, come on. We're going to work online. We're going to do some in-hand work. We're going to show everybody where you're at with me above and behind you and your blind spots. And of course, we're doing our free lunge. He gets really worked up at the free lunge still. Online is better. So we're just going to show you as a review. And you'll see that he's getting better with everything. And you'll see some new things. I'm going to start off in hand. That's why we have these short carriage whips here. Good boy, because the biggest thing for him in the lunge when he is attached to me online, not free, is me changing direction. And I'll bring him over here, Sabrina. And the reason why change of direction is so important, it is and it isn't. You know, change of direction can really mess a horse up physically because they're not balanced enough to handle the change of direction. And they can really stress out their ligaments, all sorts of harm. That's not why I'm doing change of direction, but I need to do it to build his trust, for him to join me in his eye. So he won't do it at free. He'll just blow past me. We are working on that though. So I have him online, but he wants to blow through the line. So these are training tips for you guys. Start working in hand. Mastery membership goes through all of this. So let's just work in hand and get him used to being tapped by the whip. He doesn't think he's getting punished. Good boy. So he's, he has a hard time picking up anything bigger than that, but that's better than it used to be. Let's just get a little bit more. Good. And then let's stop and back up. Good. Is better? Better. We were stuck. And now see if he can relax his head and relax. Because eventually you're going to want him here doing that and on the vertical instead of here. Good. Just relax. Just relax. Feel safe with that. So a horse like Mateo, like many horses, they're just so afraid of being corrected, because when they're corrected, it's a punishment to them. It's harsh, it's unfair, it's confusing. That's why it's unfair. They don't understand. There should never be, when you're correcting a horse, it should be when they have a solid level of understanding and education. They've been doing this for weeks, and they get it. And all of a sudden they forgot one day and you go, whoop, whoop, come back to me. There's your slight correction. But people correct to teach. And they teach by making, forcing, and instilling fear. So the horse becomes submissive. What do we want to see in Mateo? A lot of licking and chewing. Takes a long time for him to get there. Our fungus is getting better, buddy. So we're going to back up again. Good, much more responsive. Tap him in the chest if you have to, and go back to your hand. Good, and come forward, come forward, come forward. Yep, yep, he's holding his breath. Good boy. And love on him. Good boy. So did you guys hear that? Did you hear that hiccup? Yep, good. And I'll even put him in a small circle around me. Good. Turn. Good, and stop. Good. Good, good. So he is hard to move when you pull on his pole because he's just so resistant and fearful and defensive. And he hasn't been taught properly, right? He's been taught with a bit. So if he was taught truly classically, they would do in hand work. There's no bit involved. They'll use a leather halter or a leather headstall with like a bridle, reins, no bit. They might use a cavesson. But a lot of dressage has gotten bastardized over the years. It's quick, shortcuts. Get rid of these horses and sell them for top dollar before they end up costing us money, have an injury, or too much food. So he hasn't licked and chewed. So come on. I'm pulling on him, and what does he do? He panics. Come on, come forward. Come forward. He hasn't been taught to move away from that pressure, to give to it. Good boy. You're okay. You're okay. The whole body clenched up as if I was going to beat him when I grabbed my rope. You're okay. What kind of driving training did they do to you? Good, we finally got a lick. Horrible. Horrible training. We'll get to driving. We'll get to driving again, my way. No blinders and no bit. You're okay. I don't need you to go. I don't need you to go. Come here. You're good. He also hasn't had any work done on this side. How the hell? When you're driving a horse, you got to work on both sides. Ay, ay, ay. You're okay, buddy. Me patting you is not to go. You got to start focusing on all the important elements to going. My focus, my energy, all my aids. This is not an aid. This is not an aid. That's a good boy. A good boy. Not an aid, buddy. Yeah. That's a good boy. Yeah. Good boy. We did this with JJ. I remember JJ would flip out and just jump and bolt. All right, you ready?